million to 25 million. She just went in every now and then. That's all she ever did. I wonder what would happen if that's all we did. We want to understand and apply, if we really want to get into the science of getting rich, the law of compensation. Now, the law of compensation is pretty clear. There's nothing complicated about it. The law of compensation clearly states that the amount of money you earn is always going to be in direct ratio to the need for what you do, your ability to do it, and the difficulty there would be in replacing you. Now, do you see, if we really study this, there's probably quite a need for what you do. Now, I don't know how proficient you are at doing it. Most people learn how to do something, and then they never improve upon it from that point on. Once we learn how to do it, we just keep doing it at that level. That's why most people read at a grade 7 level. They never learn how to improve upon it. You see? The third one, the difficulty there will be in replacing it. So you see, if you analyze this, you're going to realize that if you just focus on number 2, number 3 is going to take care of itself. Number 1's already taken care of. There's probably a great need for what you do. Now, if we become very, very good at what we do, just keep perfecting what we do. If we sell, let's really learn how to sell. Keep getting better at it. You would become very difficult to replace. Now, I've always felt for salespeople, and I would imagine quite a few of you are in sales, you want to learn to master your presentation. Most people make a terrible sales presentation. Just absolutely terrible. That's why they don't do very well. I have gone into companies and watched sales go up by hundreds of millions of dollars, and we tell the people not to work as hard. See, we've got the idea in our mind, if you're going to earn more, you've got to work harder. Bad idea. Now, think of this for a moment. I want you to think about your financial success. And don't think for a second that you can't change it. You can change it dramatically. But really think about your financial success. You see, these meetings, these seminars, they can change your financial success like night and day. There's nothing that'll do it better because it's information that we're getting about ourselves. Now think of this for a moment. Money makes a big difference in all the important areas of our life. You'll hear people say, well, money's not everything and money won't make you happy. That's an absurd statement. Money was never meant to make us happy. And since it doesn't make any difference whether you have it or not as to whether you're happy or not, you might as well have it. Yet, at least if you're miserable, you'll be miserable in comfort. I mean, there's some consolation in having it. You see? Now, think about it for a moment. Money is meant to make us comfortable. The more comfortable we are, the more creative we'll become. The more creative we are, the more service we can render. The more service we render, the more money we will earn. You see? We want to open our mind to these two questions. Okay? Now, I want you to think about these two questions. What is your name, sir?
John.
John? John, there's the first question. How would your life change if your monthly income, boom, just like that, became your weekly income? How would it change?
A lot more comfortable.
You'd be more comfortable. How would you be more comfortable? What would you do different? If every Friday you got what you earned all last month. It wasn't a lottery, it's every Friday. You're not sure, are you? No, you're not. You know something? And that's not unusual. I very rarely ever get a person to answer that question. What is your name?
Holly.
Holly? Here's a question for you. How would your life change if your annual income, bang, like that, became your monthly income? If on the 15th of every month you earned what you earned all last year? Too hard to imagine.
Pretty good.
Now, there's two questions, simple questions, no answer. You know why you don't answer them? And you're not an exception to the rule. That's because we never sat down with one of these, wrote that amount, that figure on a piece of paper, and then just think of how to do it. Don't spend any time thinking why you can't, just think of how you can. You know something, you do it. Anybody in this room can turn their, but you're not going to do it by accident. You're not going to do it unless you decide to do it. Now you'll say, I don't know how to do it. Hillary didn't know how to get to the top of the mountain when he went up it either. He didn't. He tried in 51 and he failed. He tried again in 52 and he failed. Yet in 1953, he and Tenzing Norgay stood on the top of the world. Now, I have worked with him on 2 or 3 occasions. He's just a nice guy. The only thing different in him that I could see in me is his side. He's got a hand that would just wrap right around my hand. Big guy. No one had ever been to the top of that mountain. Do you know 1,000 people have been up there since? Things don't happen unless you decide they'll happen. Well, anybody could make that happen. I was flying to Kuala Lumpur, back around 1990. And I like playing with words and numbers when I'm on a plane. And I'm not a good flying partner. If you sat beside me, you'd probably think I didn't have any social intelligence at all, because that's my time. And so I sit there and I write words and I write numbers. And I remember I wrote the word commission one time, and all I could see coming off the page was mission. And I made a program called the Mission in Commission. And there is people that all are in the big commissions. They're involved in the mission. They're not involved in the commission. And it's a paradox, you see. Yeah, because they're not doing what they're doing for money, and yet they wouldn't do it if they weren't being paid. Yeah, it's real paradoxical. You could get your head all messed up if you play with it long enough. But I sat down and I wrote a 1 and 6 zeros. And I took a look at it and I thought, 1 million. You know, we've written songs about 1 million. We'll say, what would you do if you won 1 million? Oh, I don't know what I'd do, you know. And we have all these little games that we play. Line up for blocks. I saw a sign coming in here, just driving into town, where they had a big sign up. There was 1 million in the background, and there were 31 million or 390 million or something in a lottery, you know. And there'd be all kinds of people look at that and say, God, would that be nice, you know. Well, anybody can do this. And I got thinking about the people that I knew had earned 1 million. Hell, I earned 1 million, and I didn't even know what I was doing. You don't have to be very bright to earn money. And there's enough evidence around to prove that. There's all kinds of people that are functionally illiterate. They can neither read nor write. They're multimillionaires. Yet there's people walking the street who are absolutely brilliant, and they're broke. Think about it. That's got nothing to do with being intelligent. It has nothing to do with gender. It has nothing to do with geography. It has nothing to do with working hard. I did a TV show with Robin Leach a number of years ago. He's probably interviewed more wealthy people than anyone alive. He told me the wealthiest people he knows, he's never seen them working. Now, you could be sitting there and thinking, well, what the hell do they do? You know? I mean, that sort of scrambles our head. Because we've been trained, you got to go to work. Well, here's another one. This is, you know, like the 3 questions. This is another one that you want to burn into your mind. This is something most people don't know. They don't teach this in Harvard. They don't teach it at Wharton. They don't teach it at Eton or Stanford. Hardly anybody understands this. And I understand it. So, I mean, it's not too difficult to learn. There's 3 strategies for earning money. I refer to it as M1, M2, and M3. Yet when I started to explain this to Linda, her head would go, you know, because it's so obvious. Now, if you're going to teach your kids anything, and understand this, what you don't fix, they'll inherit. If you're going to teach them how to earn money, because if they're not earning any, they're going to have a bad life. People that don't earn money raise skinny kids. I mean, it's just not a good way to live, you know, it really isn't. Now, M1 is used by the masses, but M3 is the one you want to teach the kids. See, M1 is used by 96 people out of every 100. It is without question the worst way in the world to earn money. It's working, that's right. It's trading time for money. Now, if you have any money later on in life by following this strategy, it's at the expense of a life. You have been earning a bit and you've been squirreling some of it away, but it's at the expense of the car you want. You never drive the car you want. Most people look at a car and they think, would I ever like to have that? And while they're thinking why they can't have it, somebody else is thinking to buy the whole dealership. You see? Yeah, they're using the same mental faculty and they're drawing on the same thought power. This is a terrible concept. Trading time for money. You will never get ahead of the game doing it. M2 is a good strategy, but it's only used by 3 people out of 100. That's where we invest money to earn money, which is the probable reason why there's only 3 people out of 100 using it. Investing money to earn money. Now, some people are very good at investing money. They do very well. Most people are not. The ones that are doing it, the ones that win at it are in the minority. Now, this is the one I stumbled on way back in the early 60s. Had no idea what I was doing.